Hello viewers, this is Nobel Shah. Once again welcome you all to my Red Hat Enterprise Linux tutorial. Today we are going to discuss about Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 installation. I am going to show you guys how to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 in a virtual machine. For that I have already created a machine here, a virtual machine, and I included a ISO file with this. Okay, so let's start the virtual machine. Here is my virtual machine for Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6. Start. Okay, once the installation menu comes, press I and then hit enter. Okay, the peoples who are trying to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6, and if you find any problem during the installation, like if it goes to command mode rather than the GUI mode, maybe you have problem with your startup RAM. If you do not have sufficient startup RAM configured in your virtual machine, the machine will not continue in GUI mode installation. It will take you to the CUI mode installation. So to avoid this situation, you can increase your RAM if you have not already assigned the required amount of RAM. So when this window comes, press tab key and select skip option, then hit enter. It's saying found local installation media, and the installation process started. Look, you can see the installation process started. Now just click on the next button, and from this menu select your language, which language you want to install. As you can see, this is the default language, which is English, and then press next. From this menu select the language once again, the keyboard language. Here I am selecting the same thing, US English, and then press next. From this window it is asking us what type of devices will this installation involve. Okay, whether it will be basic storage devices or it will be specialized storage devices like iSCSI, NAS, blah blah blah, or SAN. Okay, so the peoples who already have ideas what is SAN, what is NAS, they understand what I'm saying. But for the normal users, you do not need to worry about it. Just select the basic storage devices options and go to next option. Here it is saying whether it will discard any data or it will keep any data. For this video we are going to select this option, which is yes, discard any data, the previous data we have. And here you just assign the host name. So for this video I am assigning a host name like noveltech.net. okay, and then configure network. If you want to assign IP address, you can assign it from here. Configure network. The default Ethernet interface is showing, which is system ETH0. Click on add button, and then whether it is wired or wireless, select the option. For my case it is wired, so click on the create button, and from here select the IPv4 settings, and if you want to set the IPv6 IP address, you can click on the IPv6 settings tab, For this video I am selecting the IPv4 settings and method, whether this machine gets IP from DHCP server or you want to assign the IP address statically. Okay, so from the method option, select the manual option and click on the add button to add the IP address. So like once say 10.10.10.100. okay, and then the net mask, by default it comes 8. We know that for class A address the default net mask is 8. And then gateway, what will be the gateway? You can assign the gateway here. It's like 10.10.10.1 and then click on the add button. So this IP address is set. Okay, if once again if you want to check, click on the edit button, go to the IPv4 settings and go to the manual option. Look, the IP we already added, it is not listed here because we didn't save it actually. Okay, so to do it properly, click on the add button. Once again type the IP address 10.10.10.100 and then the net mask and the gateway 10.10.10.1 and then click on the apply button. So remember, to apply the IP address always press the apply button. Okay, so if you want to check it once again, click on the edit button, go to the IPv4 settings tab and look, now we got the IP address. So that's it. This is how we can configure the host name and the IP address during the installation. Always you can change your host name and configure your IP settings once it is installed, but during the installation, if we want, we can set these options. Click on the next button and from here you can select the time zone. For this video I am going to select Bangladesh Dhaka, or say Asia Dhaka. Okay, so Asia Dhaka. Okay, so this is Asia Dhaka and then click on the next button. And the password, what will be the root password? Set it here. For this video I am using the password which is RedHat, and then once again type the password which is RedHat and click the next button. Because it is a weak password, it is saying you have provided a weak password. It is based on a dictionary word, and obviously they always suggest us to use a password which have a complexity, but for the sake of this video I am just used a plain password which is RedHat. So when this window comes, just click on the use anyway button, use anyway. Okay, from this window we actually need to specify the type of installation, what kind of installation we want to do. So for this video we are going to use the create custom layout, means we are going to create the partitions as we want. We will assign the space, how much space we want. So if you want to use all spaces, click this option. If you want to use the replace existing Linux system, then it will replace if you have previously Linux system installed. And then shrink means it will shrink the size, and use free space means it will use any unpartitioned space if you have in this hard disk. And then finally create custom layout, that will help us to create custom layout as per requirement. So select the create custom layout options and hit next. Okay, now we can see we have a hard disk here, unformatted hard disk, which is around 10 GB, and we can see the name of the hard disk here. It is showing /dev/sda, and then just click the create button. From here select the standard partition options and then click create button. From here assign the mount point. So the first mount point comes is root, which is equivalent to C drive in Windows machine. So specify the size, because this is the main drive we are going to use. The root drive, we will specify the maximum amount here. For this video I am assigning like say 6000 MB, around 6 GB, and then click OK. So our first partition created. To create the second partition, click on the free option once again and click the create button, and then specify the partition type, which will be standard partition. Click the create button, and from here select the another mount point, which is boot. So for boot you can take a size of 200 MB. This is enough for boot, so you can specify the size 200, or maybe you can increase it like 500 MB, but for the RedHat Enterprise Linux 6, 200 MB is enough, and then click OK. Now we will need to create another partition, which is called swap. Click on the free space once again, and then click the create button. Click the standard partition option once again, click the create button, and from here select the file system type. This time it will be swap partition, okay, and then specify the size. Remember, when you specify the swap size, you need to remember what you have assigned in your virtual machine, okay, I mean the physical RAM you assigned in your machine, and then the swap size will be exactly the double, okay. So if you assign like 1 GB, you will specify here 2 GB of swap space. So for this video I am specifying 2048 because my machine RAM size is 1 GB. So now I am specifying here 2048 MB for the swap space. The people who do not know about swap, let me clear you one thing about swap. So what is swap actually? Swap means if you do not have enough RAM, you can use your hard disk space as a RAM, and which is called swap space, and then click OK. So these are the partition we created. We still have free space of around 1.5 GB. You can use it later if you want. After completing the installation you can create partitions, no problem. So from here select the root partition that we have created, which is now showing SDA2 around 6 GB, where the installation will be held. So select the SDA2 and then click next, and this is saying the following pre-existing devices have been selected to be formatted, destroying all data. Just say format, and then write changes to disk. Click on this option, write changes on disk, and that is all. Now the installation started, and it's gonna take some time. So let me pause the video. When the installation gets finished, I will restart the video once again, okay. Let me tell you one thing. When this window comes, install bootloader on dev SDA, just keeps all the default settings and click on the next button, and from here this window select the option which will be desktop. For this video I am going to select the desktop option, and obviously you can select all the other options like basic server, database server, web server, minimal, software development workstation, workstation. So I am selecting desktop option and click the next button. Okay, so the installation started. Starting installation process. It will take some time. It will take some time to install. Okay. Look at the packages. Here it is showing packages completed, and the packages it is gonna complete. The amount is 1110. So it's gonna take some time. So I'm going to pause the video and I will resume once it is get finished. Alright guys, once again welcome back. Our installation gets completed. It is saying congratulations, your Red Hat Enterprise Linux installation is complete. Now just click on the reboot button to reboot the machine. Please hold, it's gonna take some time. Not too long though. Alright. Okay. It's gonna start in a minute. Yeah. Now, when this result comes, click on the forward button, and in the license information window, click on yes, I agree to the license agreement, and click on the forward button. And in this window, set up software updates, click on the forward button. If you are actually connected to the internet, you will get the software updates, but you are not, if you are not connected with internet, you will not get any software updates. So in this situation, I am not connected actually with internet. Click on the forward button, and here you can create the user. So like I'm using my name as a user, which is Nodal, and then full name. If you want to use the full name, you can always type it here. Then password, what will be the password? For this demonstration, I am using a simple password, which is 123. Confirm once again, 123, and then click the forward button. Click on yes. From here, just assign the date and time. Click forward. Click on the OK button. If this window comes, just click on the OK button, and from this window, in the KDUM section, click on the finish button. So that is all. Our installation got finished, and we already got the login window. You can see the user that we have created, which is Novel Shah, and then the root user that we have already in our system. If we want to log in with that user, which is root user, click on the other button and type the username, which is root, and then click on the login button, and then the password that we have assigned, which is Red Hat, and click on the login button. There you go. So this is the desktop of Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6. Okay, so the people who are already familiar with the Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6, they know how to work with Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6. If we right click and choose the open in terminal option, we will get the terminal, and from here, by using command, we can start using Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6. Okay, for example, if you want to check the present working directory you have, use this command, which is pwd, and hit enter. Look, now it is saying I am under root desktop. Okay, so by using a command which is called init 0, you can always shut down your machine. So for this video, that is all for today. I am going to shut down this machine now. In my next video, I will discuss with some other topics of RedHat Enterprise Linux. So thanks very much once again for watching my videos. Bye.